Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a rather untraditional tea and pajamas. We're in the kitchen this morning. Stitch came back from the vet last night from having been neutered, and I wanted to do this in the kitchen just in case he was sleeping under the couch. I didn't want to bother him. And also, as it's been said, if a cat is hiding under something, you don't want to sit where they're hiding and chat with them because then they'll think it's okay to hide there. So basically, two reasons for not the couch, because I thought he was sleeping under the couch. So basically, yes, I didn't want to wake him up, and I didn't want him to think it was okay to always hide under the couch. Turns out he was actually in the bedroom, sleeping under the bed. Interesting. But again, this is a different setting. I usually save this for unboxings, unwrappings, etc. Beer and other alcohol reviews. Today I said that twice, Private Selections Lavender Earl Grey Black Loose Leaf Tea. And this is by Kroger. Okay, the preparation instructions. Bring fresh cold water to a rolling boil. Place 1 teaspoon of tea into a cup. Pour water over tea and brew 3 to 5 minutes. Strain tea after brewing. I don't have a tea strainer per se, so I used the TS to tea bags. Put the tea in the loose tea in the bag, put it in the cup, and then just poured the water into the cup, and then let it sit for 4 minutes, and then pulled out the bag. Similar effect. Basically, you're still pouring it over the tea, but you're steeping it and straining it pretty much all at the same time. Okay, and this one has a legend on it, which is interesting. Private Selection Lavender Earl Grey Black Loose Leaf Tea is a blend of premium Indonesian black tea with delicate lavender blossoms and Italian bergamot. The infused leaves have a mellow flavor and a soothing lavender citrus fragrance. And if you want to learn more about their teas, they have their website, which is www.privateselection.com. So basically, Kroger has its own line of gourmet teas, which are actually pretty good. I've had some of them before, and this was the first. I've had this one for a while, but it's the first time when I bought this, rather, that I had the Lavender Earl Grey. And we have the Black Cat cup, not mug. I wanted to do that today because it's Earl Grey, and I have my mostly Black Cat Stitch. Okay, so let's get into this and see how it smells. You can smell the bergamot up front with the lavender. They mix very well together. It's a very nice combination. Some combinations are kind of wonky, like that ginger turmeric tea that we had. That was more everything else but ginger and turmeric. They basically threw everything but the kitchen sink in there, and to me, it destroyed the blend. It was too heavy-handed with everything else, and it overpowered the signature notes. This one is nice. It's, of course, Earl Grey, which is black tea and bergamot, and then all they added was lavender. So that's a nice, well-rounded, complex, yet simple blend. Just the 3 ingredients, nothing more, nothing less. And it's very nice. It's very, I use the word perfect too much, but yes, I would say this is perfect because the lavender and the bergamot, as I said, go very well together. They go hand in hand. It's very smooth. This could easily become one of my favorite Earl Greys, aside from Twinings, which when I was still married, I was introduced to those, and I need to find some Twinings again. And if I do, I will try to show them on here every once in a while because the traditional teas are kind of falling by the wayside, and some traditional British teas would be nice. It's got a nice finish. Again, it goes very smooth. It's seamless the way the flavors blend together. It's almost as if lavender was meant to be an Earl Grey. Oh, and I noticed a cute little thing here. You can't see it, but the way the tea is in the cup right now, it looks like the cat is sitting on top of the tea. If I had a good camera, I could show you, but I have just my phone. Okay, and again, to get you caught up, I arrived at Critter Junction last night around 7:45 with my friend Marlene, who was my transport, and the other pet parents, I guess you could say, were already out and getting ready to retrieve their pets. And I told my friend, I said, looks like they're early. She said, well, didn't they call you? I said, no. They said there would not be a confirmation call. She's like, ugh. So basically, it was a good thing we showed up early. We still had to be there by 8 p.m. But it was a good thing we arrived early because the transport arrived early. So Stitch didn't have to wait quite as long for me to get him. As I said, he did have to get his ear tipped because we couldn't afford to do, we meaning me and Stitch, not me and Marlene, obviously. Couldn't afford to get him microchipped, so you will notice that one of his ears is not pointy anymore. It's because it's been tipped, which is the signification, like I said, when I had my other cats in Albuquerque that I went through Street Cat Hub, and again, hopefully they're still around. If you live in the Albuquerque area and Street Cat Hub is still there, give them a shout out, say hi to them, thank them for their hard work, and if they have been replaced by someone else, give them a shout out as well because they do wonderful work. I'm not sure how and what Critter Junction does here. And I did notice they had several guinea pigs, they had a chinchilla, some birds, which was pretty interesting. Got me thinking, maybe one of these days I'll get a guinea pig again. I haven't had a guinea pig since my boys were young-ish. Well, tweens, since they were tweens. Well, a teen and a tween. That's a long story. But I do have good memories of Zorro and Kisa playing tag in the living room. And Kisa will be sadly missed. She would have been 17. But she had a respiratory infection, and she did not make it past kittenhood, sadly. Sweet little cat. And, well, Zorro got a new home. He long since passed because guinea pigs don't live very long. But out of nostalgia, now I want a guinea pig. But I'm not sure how Stitch would react to a guinea pig, because it'll have to wait until I get a house, and he'll be older. Hi, Stitch. No, I'm not picking you up. No, your tummy is sore. It needs to heal. Yeah, I'm not going to pick you up right now until you feel better. Sorry, baby. He wants me to pick him up, but he's not supposed to lick or irritate his stitches. Well, they didn't really stitch them, but the males, they don't stitch. They didn't stitch. Well, at least they weren't supposed to. Usually they go with the males under the tail, where that area is, and remove their things. But because he's between 3 and 4 months old, which is the youngest that they go, I guess he hadn't descended yet. Well, let's leave it at that. So I noticed when I got him home and let him come out of the carrier, that his incision is higher in the middle of his belly, which is rather strange. So I'm assuming it was a horizontal incision, so either the medical student thought he was a female and was getting ready to do that, but then again, I think, no, that would be a hysterectomy. That would be a vertical incision. But for whatever reason, they did a horizontal incision on his belly and went in to do the deed that way. And he's doing quite well, actually, as well as can be expected. He's a bit more sore than he would have been. But he won't be in the habit of marking his territory, so that's probably, I'm guessing, why they like to go younger, if they can. Because it's, the parts are removed before they go into puberty. So you're getting them prepubescent, basically before they start the marking. So he's unhappy. He wants me to pick him up, but I can't because, like I said, I don't want to disturb his suture. Um, so he's recovering from that. He's going to be a bit sore for a couple of weeks. Hopefully that'll curtail him from jumping on things and climbing. And his ear has to mellow out. He's got big ears, so the tip coming off looks a little bit more wonky than I would have liked, but the student did the best they could. And I've seen worse. Some of the cats from my other apartment, not other apartment, from my other state, when I was in the mobile home before the last apartment that I was in. At least one of them had a little bit too much taken off the top of the ear. So his is somewhere between a little too much and just right. And maybe it just looks strange because he's large for his age, but he's still a kitten. So he'll grow into it and it won't look quite so bad when he's older. So that's that. He's in recovery mode right now. I got the note that I should have been expecting because my apartment did say that this year they were going to increase the rent and up the utility fees. So I was thinking once I add him, it'd be $25 for the pet rent, which would put me up to $675. However, the rent, I forgot that the rent itself was going up to $675, which with Stitch added on will put me to $700. So my rent is now going to be $700 a month, which is going to eat a little bit into the second check of the month, which means I'll have to budget a little bit more carefully the beginning of the month to make sure, even though I'm only doing the cab 2 days a week now, 5 days a week, I still have to have all the money for those 2 days each week. And unless I budget very carefully, I'm going to end up being a day short on the second, one of the runs. One of the runs during the month, rather. Calm down, Julie, calm down. Anyway, we will figure it out. But yes, the rent is going to be going up to $700, including Mr. Stitch. On this next check, I will have most of, if not all, of the money I need to do the pet deposit. However, I need proof that I have a cat. All that Critter Junction gave me, because we could only afford to make him an outdoor cat, is his post-surgical instructions. Nothing recording the procedures they did, and etc. I do have the surgical consent form in my phone, so hopefully that will be good. That will do, saying this is what he had done. And my friend Marlene said that I'm going to have to get him a license. So that might be what I need before I pay the pet deposit. Maybe that's the paperwork I need to show that he's been to the vet, because he's licensed with the state. The state license would probably mean that he's had everything and he's official. So that's another hurdle I'm going to have to jump. New Mexico wanted that as well, but I flew under the radar mostly because most of the cats I had done through Street Cat Hub. I only ever had one cat that I had to go through the state to get licensed, and that was one I had gotten through Animal Humane. So that's another story for another time, maybe. So again, I'm rambling. I'm all over the place. To wrap this up, Private Selection Lavender Earl Grey Black Loose Leaf Tea is a wonderful blend of Earl Grey with lavender. Again, the bergamot, the lavender, and the black tea all play very well together. You've probably had lavender black teas before, and also lavender herbal teas before. So those of you who have had a black lavender tea will know that the black tea and the lavender are perfect together. and the bergamot added in makes it even better. So I highly recommend this tea. If it didn't have lavender in it, I would drink it every day before work, but lavender makes me sleepy, which is, I guess, basically what it's supposed to do. So it's a nice afternoon or evening tea to end your day and help you calm down and relax. If you have a fireplace, again, it's a good fireside tea. This time of year, it would be perfect. So I'm going to let you guys go. Have a wonderful day. Again, I usually do the don't drag and drive, but again, I'm going to rethink how I do tea in pajamas. I am going to mostly do it in the living room, but again, I said I wanted to do it in here because I didn't want to wake up Mr. Stitch, and he woke up anyway. So I'm going to rethink how I do my endings on these because that doesn't fit with the tea in pajamas. So basically, enjoy your tea, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. I love you guys. Bye now.